Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a movie you may have heard of called Star Wars The Last Jedi. Probably the most controversial movie to come out in some time, and more than likely the most controversial Star Wars movie ever created, even surpassing the prequels. And when you consider the amount of debate that has happened over whether the prequels are good or bad, should they have been made, was George Lucas better off giving the main body of work to other people to do when it comes to Star Wars? The Last Jedi is after surpassing that in a way that's after dividing the fan base more than ever. And this isn't going to be an analysis of The Last Jedi and every little thing it does wrong or why, and if it's good or bad, because honestly, that it would require a lot of videos that would take a long time, and well, there's been plenty of people who've done that already, and I'm a bit late to the party when it comes to that. But I do want to talk in this video about the first moment that I realised, oh boy, this movie was in trouble. I want to talk about the moment I realised, oh boy, something's off here. Something doesn't seem right in the Force, if you know what I'm saying. And well, I'll give you a background first. There's been a lot of people look back before Last Jedi came out, the build up, the interviews, and people are kind of seeing red herrings, little clues that maybe this movie wasn't going to be as great as we all hoped it would be. But me, when it comes to any type of media entertainment like movies, TV shows, video games, I want to go into an experience as blind as possible. Meaning I try to avoid all interviews, trailers, information about a particular work of fiction that I can. Well, as much as possible, because it's kind of hard to ignore trailers when you're in the cinema, for example, but I try to do it my best. So when it came to Last Jedi, I didn't look up any reviews, any previews, any trailers, as much as I possibly could. From what I've seen, it looked good. The trailer for Last Jedi looked really good. So I was like, okay, I've heard a lot of things about this movie from the people making it. I have faith because while The Force Awakens wasn't the best movie, it had problems, it was still good and still reignited some hope in me for the Star Wars franchise. Hope that was quickly distinguished with this movie. But anyway, enough delaying. The moment for me where I realised something was wrong was when Luke Skywalker chucked Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber off the cliff like that. It was a comedy scene. No. A lot of people are probably going to say it. That's not a big deal. It was like a 10-second scene. True, but here's the thing. This just wasn't a thing that Luke Skywalker threw off the cliff. It was Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. One of the most important things in the whole Star Wars lore, especially in the Star Wars films, it's Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Anakin Skywalker, the guy who became Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker's father. It's a pretty big deal. The saber that Anakin Skywalker had used in the prequels, the saber that Obi-Wan gave to Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars movie, the saber that was such a big deal in Force Awakens when Rey picked it up. She had a vision, and they were going to talk about how Maz Kanata got it and how it was in her establishment. So there was a lot of build up to this saber, and even the ending. The ending of Force Awakens, it ends with Rey extending the lightsaber to Luke, and it's just a great ending scene. And I love us were anticipating what was going to come next, what was going to happen. Would Luke look very angry? So was he going to embrace Rey and help her, or was he just going to turn her away? We got our answer to that. He looked at the lightsaber, and instead of acknowledging that he had the saber once again in his hand, that this was his father's saber, what did he do? He threw it around the cliff like it was nothing. The thing that makes it worse is that they did it for the expense of a few laughs. It was meant to be this really funny, awkward moment. This was my reaction, right? No lie, this is my reaction when I saw it. I was just saying, I was like, oh, this is awesome, Luke Skywalker. Okay, wait to see what was going to happen with this scene for 2 years. And they threw it over the cliff, and I was like, what? I got my friend, and I was like, what the fuck? And that was my genuine reaction. That's literally how I was. I was like, I even said to my friend, that was a very Marvel-esque moment to have in a Star Wars film. I understand Disney on both the Marvel franchise and the Star Wars, but Star Wars has always been its own thing, even with comedy. Force Awakens, at the start when Poe was talking to, I forget his name, the old man in the tent before the Force Order came down, at the start of Force Awakens, he was like, And when Kylo Ren got hold of Poe, he was like, Poe just went, okay, so who talks first? You talk, then I talk. I was like, okay, that doesn't really fit the Star Wars humour or the way they talk, but I was like, I'll leave it go. It's the modern Star Wars movies that have a couple of things from modern movies put into it. I was okay with that. Because it wasn't really harm anything, it was just establishing a new character, it was not a big deal. But when you use such an important piece of Star Wars history like the Anakin Skywalker lightsaber and Luke getting that saber for after so long of us waiting for a new movie in the saga, and more importantly all the build up you had in The Force Awakens with Rey extending the saber to Luke, and the 2 years waiting to see what was going to happen, because then that was the ending scene of Force Awakens, it didn't come off right. And no one really, I never really heard anyone laugh too much at it. There was probably a couple like, ha, or like, like kind of chuckles, but not really like substantial. And it's kind of like, I was thinking, what other movies did this? Like, imagine Lord of the Rings, right? Frodo's carrying the ring, he's like, okay. And when they said, you know what, this ring really isn't important, screw it. He just took off the ring and just chucked it in the air into a river. Just so people would laugh at how unexpected and random it was. That's kind of really what Luke did with the lightsaber, and look, I like Marvel style of comedy is funny, right? It is. I enjoy most comedy Marvel movies, but it doesn't really fit in Star Wars. And more than that, Star Wars, it's its own thing. It should be. You shouldn't try to incorporate Marvel into Star Wars that much. And I'm not blaming. Like, let's be fair. Like, the Star Wars movies have had fairly funny moments. Force Awakens had some great moments, especially with BB-8, for example. But they never had any. They never got those funny moments over using something that was very important to the franchise, and it just comes off as very forced. Like Luke chucking the saber. Like a lot of people are like, they're really making a big deal over that. Like he just chucked the lightsaber. But the thing is, if you're a big Star Wars fan, like a really big one, like a hardcore fan, that's a really important thing in the canon, in the lore of Star Wars, and just the fact that they treated that like that item with the kind of disrespect you see in the movie like Luke did, it just comes off weird. And here's the thing, Luke could have tossed the saber away, but I think it would be different. Like, for example, he could have just took the saber off Rey, just looked at it, kind of got a bit of an angry face, got like a snarl on him, and then just kind of just went, chucked it to the side. But it's the timing of the whole thing. He got the saber, and then he just went, looked awkwardly, and then walked away. It didn't fit the mood. It comes off very weird, and the fact that they use Anakin lightsaber as the tool for this, it just comes off very just like they weren't thinking clearly about this moment. It just you kind of like the movie you kind of lose. Like Star Wars has never been like a really serious movie, but when you start treating the lore and like items such as Anakin lightsaber kind of disrespectful like that, like they're like mean nothing, then you can't really get invested in the rest of the movie, because if they're able to treat their history like that, like it's nothing, why should we care get invested in the characters and the future events of the Star Wars movies you're making now? I don't just that moment came off very weird to me, and after that continued, it was like a downward spiral, and now we see where we are now. Last Jedi defied the fan base a lot, Solo bombed, and hopefully Disney start doing so and getting their act together and get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Seriously, she needs to go. They need to get their act together and start building back up Star Wars to the mega franchise it is. I love Star Wars. I was excited. Oh, we're gonna get a lot of Star Wars movie. I actually didn't mind getting a Star Wars a movie yearly, but the thing is, they have to be good, and they have to at least feel like the people making these know what Star Wars is, and put effort into it. But Last Jedi wasn't that, and again, Luke throwing the saber over the cliff like that, it just kind of shows. What's the word? It just kind of shows like the lack of direction Rian Johnson had. You can clearly tell by that movie, Rian Johnson wasn't there to make a Star Wars movie. He was there to make, his own put his own kind of messages and his own look into it. He didn't really care too much about the history of it, especially, with all how he answered all the questions lingering from Force Awakens. It didn't fit right, and you can tell Rian Johnson was just doing his own thing and didn't really care too much about the history of it. I may be wrong, but judging from that, just that lightsaber scene alone, that was very poor judgment, and it just bothered me and rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm sure it probably did a bunch of other people. Well, that's my video. I just wanted to talk about that today because it was on my mind. I just felt like I really wanted to talk about it. It's one thing to talk about. I don't hear too many people talk about that particular scene. But if you listened, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, or whatever. And I'll see you next time.